Going on, guys? Got another breakdown for UFC 270. This time we got the main event, and it is a great main event between Ciryl Gane and Francis Ngannou. Heavyweight title fight. They are even on reach, same height, and former training partners. Gane tends to come in a little bit lighter at heavyweight, but I will start with Ngannou. So the reigning champ avenged his loss against Stipe and then some in the last fight. And what I'll say about Ngannou that I really like recently is I think he's addressed holes that were identified in his game, or potential holes, potential weaknesses with each of his last two fights. He in the Rosenstrike fight. Now I thought that one was going to go way longer than it did. I thought that there was going to be a lot more of a feeling out process, similar to the Derek Lewis fight. But Ngannou just crashes forward, throws absolute missiles. He throws about 6 or 7 strikes, just kind of a wild flurry. And the one that lands just knocks him out cold. It was a brutal knockout. My friend always makes fun of my reaction to that one. He said, like, my mouth was just wide open. I was like, holy shit, man. It was just a total display of Francis Ngannou's power. And he really does only need one shot. And sometimes he does do these wild flurries, but he's just so big that his opponent has to retreat. And I think he's a little bit more aggressive and also faster than Derek Lewis. And it all points to just an absolute menace in the first 3 rounds. That's when Ngannou's at his most dangerous. We haven't seen him go super extended because most of his wins are in the first round. But the other hole that he clearly addressed in the Stipe fight, the big one was Stipe, the first one. He ducked out of the way of a lot of his power shots. He was loading up a lot, Ngannou was, and then he was able to work in the wrestling. And after the 3rd round, Ngannou was just tired. Stipe just went on cruise control. In the second fight, though, Ngannou stuffs the takedowns. It looked like a much evolved Ngannou, and as soon as he stuffed the first takedown, I knew that Stipe was toast, basically. And I did favor Stipe to win the fight. I just thought that there was more layers to his game. But Ngannou, a lot of improvement in the takedown defense in that one. And Stipe does catch him with a right hook, a step-in right hook, after Ngannou threw a wild shot. But then Stipe comes crashing forward himself, just gets caught with that nasty left hook, and the follow-up shot puts him out cold before Herb Dean can stop it. So again, just absolute freak power. If you're the heavyweight champion, you're the heavyweight power king. You're going to be the power king of the whole roster, and Ngannou has a lot more power than any other heavyweight, it seems. He just absolutely kills people. But again, it's going to be can he stay measured in those early rounds and not allow Gane to just stay mobile and tire him out, and also just not get too overzealous on these shots, because Gane definitely has the ability to slide out of the way of shots, counter with a leg kick typically. But for Ciryl Gane, his rise has been very, very fast. I mean, there was never a time where he wasn't hyped up and he didn't look like he was going to be a definite title challenger, but he came on really quickly, and he gets a knockout against Dontel Mays in late 2019, was a decision over Tanner Boser, never troubled in that one, and then gets a step up in competition against JDS and knocks him out. Granted, JDS got knocked out by pretty much everybody late in his career, but it was a big win. And then he just absolutely cruises against Jairzinho Rozenstruik and Alexander Volkov, works in some wrestling, and was just never in trouble. He's always in and out of his shot, always in and out, And Derek Lewis, that was just the fight that just showed how much of a problem Ciryl Gane is for pretty much everybody in this division. And it was a great performance to watch for this fight. It's definitely essential tape study. And what made it so good was he in the first round, he just wasn't really doing much, just in and out, not going with much offense of his own, but when he would, it would be like a leg kick, in and out. He was always out of the range of Derek Lewis's overhand right. He never allowed himself to get backed up. He was always the one controlling the center of the octagon because he's just so mobile. And that's the thing, man. Just nobody really has movement quite like Ciryl Gane's. And you can look at the levels to it in that Chris Daukaus fight against Derek Lewis recently. Chris Daukaus touted as one of the more mobile guys in the division, one of the guys who can maybe hang with Ciryl Gane, and it just shows that there's just such levels to the movement that Gane has, and nobody can really keep up with it. He doesn't move like a heavyweight at all. He moves more like a middleweight, and he's got a lot of layers to his game. He's got good wrestling. He's got very measured striking, and in the Derek Lewis fight, he really built to that knockout. He drew the offense out of Lewis, got him tired, and then he started going for the heavier shots in the third round. He set up a lot of overhands and hooks with kicks to the body and kicks to the legs, and he had Lewis particularly worried about the leg kicks, so then when he started coming up over the top, it was set up perfectly. And it presents a clear path, I would say, for Ciryl Gane in this fight. I think if he can just stay on his bike and really be patient, I think he's shown that he has the ability to do that, and I think he will do it in the first 2 rounds. He'll stay out of danger, draw some offense out of Ngannou, and I'm sure after like a round and a half of that, I think we're going to start to see some forced offense from Ngannou, and I'm not necessarily looking for Gane to counter that, but at least do enough to start to wear him down, and then when he does start to commit with more body shots, he uses that teep kick to really break his opponents down. I think he'll start working that more in the second and third, start to really accelerate the process of Ngannou getting tired, and then if he is going to work in the wrestling, I think we'll see it late. I don't think he's going to try that against Ngannou early. He might, though, but again, like Ngannou showed much improved takedown defense against a great wrestler in Stipe, and I don't think we can say that Gane's wrestling is better than Stipe's. They might be close, but I just think if Ngannou is able to stuff the takedown there, I can't see it being a central part of Gane's game plan. But at minus 150, I definitely like Ciryl Gane. But again, man, it's scary, you know. Francis lives up to his reputation. He's got more power than anybody else, and it only takes one shot. It's mostly his overhand right that is his best weapon, but he has a lot of great knockouts with his left. The Overeem uppercut, which is one of the nastiest knockouts you'll ever see. That one was with the left uppercut. He has, I believe the knockout against Stipe was a left hook. So he's got power in both of his hands. It just shows the freak power. He's only got to connect one time. But I think that Ciryl Gane showed that he can fight a fight like this against Derek Lewis. Granted, Ngannou's going to be faster, Ngannou's going to be more aggressive, and I do expect 1 or 2 flurries that Gane isn't just going to be able to just get out of the way of, because I expect Ngannou to just follow up with it. Like, we're not just talking a heavy 1-2. We're going to have like a 4, 5, 6 strike flurry that's going to have Gane backing up. But I think if he can just survive 1 or 2 of those, it's going to take a lot of energy on the part of Ngannou, and I just see this fight maybe going to decision. Like, that's the thing. I can't pick a prop here, but if you look at if you're looking to take some flyers, Ciryl Gane by submission at plus 750, I could see the value in that. I don't know. It's a little too much of a flyer for me. I think if I had to pick a prop, I would go with Ciryl Gane by points, but maybe by knockout. I don't know. It's really hard. I just think at minus 150, I like Ciryl Gane money line. I am gonna bet it, but again, I'm really struggling to find like a top ticket definitive play, whatever. I hate saying lock, man. It never seems to go well if you call something a lock, but there are no locks in MMA. But I do like the path for Ciryl Gane. I just think he's got more layers to his game, and we also got the whole contract dispute going on with Ngannou behind the scenes, so we don't know if he's really 100% locked in for this fight, whereas Ciryl Gane is clearly hungry for the belt. But I do think Ngannou is definitely going to show up for this fight. I'm not speculating that he's totally out of it, but if you're focused on contract issues and shit before you have the toughest opponent yet, who, if Ngannou wins this fight, he would have all the leverage in negotiations, and he would have a clear path to reigning for a long time. But I think his managers are pushing him a little too soon. You know, like, this is the fight. Like, he could easily lose this fight, and it could form a great rivalry between these two, which I would love to see. But unfortunately, it seems like all this contract stuff is a big problem. So there is that whole angle looming on this fight. But From a technical standpoint, it's still Ciryl Gane for me. And also, I want to mention time props. Fight to start the third round is at -118. I do think there's some value there, but I'd rather just stick with Ciryl Gane. It is kind of, though, like if you're picking Ciryl Gane and you're confident in Ciryl Gane, this might be another play to double up with, because I can't see Gane getting a knockout early unless Ngannou gets really aggressive and just walks into something. I think if he gets it, it's going to be in the third, fourth, or fifth round. So if you like Ciryl Gane, this might be something to follow up with. I'll see what I do with it later in the week when I make my bets. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Sure, subscribe and take it easy.